They are feelings that arrive without a sound, like a secret sunrise behind the ribs. The warmth that refused to announce itself, yet burns, like truth that cannot be undone. Every breath since that quiet moment has learned to whisper the shape of devotion. It's strange how silence can hold a name without ever daring to speak it aloud. Something changed inside the air. A scent, a rhythm, a pulse reborn, as if the universe leaned closer and asked me to remember softness again. It was in sight, not touch, nor words. It was recognition, ancient and new, like two verses of forgotten poem, finally finding their rhyme after centuries apart. Love, not loud, not sudden, but sacred, consuming, relentless in peace. It doesn't knock, it dissolves walls, move through veins like holy fire. There is a quiet fire inside me, unseen, untamed, unending. It doesn't beg to be understood. It only asks to keep burning. I carry its clue beneath every gesture, each heartbeat tracing the same direction. I don't name it. I would rather protect it, for the world ruins what it tries to be defined, what it tries to be defined. Still, when the night leans close, when stars decide to confess, I feel the universe take her shape, and everything else falls silent. She isn't here, yet every molecule knows her gravity by heart. The sky remembers her outline. The wind learns her sigh by repetition. How strange to love without possession, to eat without demand, to worship something so human that even angels hesitate to name it. The love does not beg to be returned. It only seeks to exist, like light existing for no one, yet bright enough to guide the lost. Sometimes I wonder if hearts were built to survive beauty, because mine trembles under the weight. Each deed of prayer it cannot pronounce. It's not obsession, it's recognition. A soul remembering what it was made of. And if the world calls it madness, let them. Truth was always misunderstood. I have loved in silence, more honestly than others in words. For silence does not perform, it preserves. There is a place inside me where her essence sits like incense, burning slow, fragrant, eternal. No one sees it, but I breathe it endlessly. If love were visible, the sky would blush for eternity. But perhaps it hides because the sacred is never meant for crowds. And so, I live between two worlds, reality and the echo of her presence. Neither lets me go, both call me home. Some days, the ache is holy, other days, unbearable. But always, It's alive. The devotion. There are moments when the heart kneels without knowing why, when even the pulse feels reverent, as if it's bowing to something unseen. She lives not in place, but in presence, like fragrance without a flower, like music without sound. Her existence teaches stillness, a rare kind of peace that hums between echoes and creation, a melody only the soul can hear. The universe could collapse, and still her aura would remain unshaken, untouched, like moonlight refusing to fear the dark. This is what devotion feels like. Not worship, not surrender, but a recognition that beauty was never separate from truth. I speak not of her eyes, but of the way light behaves around them. Not of her lips, but of how silence waits for her to speak. Every thought bends toward her, like a planet obeying gravity. Yet she never demands orbit. She simply is. High gentleness is a powerful and a power disguised, the kind that builds empire in quiet room, and even kings would tremble if they knew how it feels to be seen that way. She does not know it. How her existence reforms galaxies, how even shadows seem rehearsed when she stands in light. I once believed love was a forever, but she taught me it's a fate. It doesn't burn, it becomes. It doesn't end, it transforms. Every heartbeat recites her name, without letters or language, just rhythm, pure and devoted, like a prayer repeated by stars. And I wonder if the Creator ever smiled in making her, knowing He had hidden a small piece of heaven inside her human form. She is imperfection. She is truth with things fluid in the ways that make you bow instead of judge. Even pain feels different when she is the reason behind it. It doesn't wound, it cleanses, turning ache into worship. I have learned that some souls do not belong to people, they belong to quiet moments that remind you are alive. And in that sacred quiet, her spirit lingers, like dawn, beating for courage to break into day. The world could forget my name, erase every trace of my voice, but if she ever breathes my memory, I would exist again, because love like this does not belong to time, it belongs to essence, the unseen script beneath existence. And I keep living, not to find her, but to remain worthy of the light she unknowingly gave. The surrender. There are no walls inside my heart where you do not already live. No breath escapes my chest without a trace of your presence hidden in it. You are not an image. You are the unseen pulse of everything. Every street, every sky, every silence carries the echo of your existence. Even light behaves differently, and it remembers you. It bends, it softens, it waits. I speak not of your face, but of the way the world turns tender whenever you enter. A thought, like dawn deciding to arrive early. Your name is not a word, it's a vibration the soul recognizes. I hear it without hearing it, feel it without touching it. You move through me, like prayer through a cathedral, filling spaces I did not know were sacred. Your gentleness does not end at the skin. It sieves into the ear, and even the ear learns to be sober. Heavens believed love was forever. That burned and left ashes. But you proved it a fate that builds temples in silence. Every heartbeat I have recites you, not with syllables, but with devotion. You are the answer I never knew my questions were searching for, the still point around which my storms have learned to dance. I do not crave to own you, I crave to honor you, for beauty like yours is not meant to be held, it is meant to be worshipped in the language of care. Even pain feels softer when it is traced back to you. It cleanses instead of wounds, turns ache into a kindness of prayer. There is no distance between us, even when miles pretended, because you live in the space where distance does not exist. You are the scent without the flower, the song without the notes, the secret rhythm that keeps me alive. If the world were to forget my name, erase my face from every memory, I would still exist. As long as you remember the echo, because love like this does not belong to time, it belongs to essence, the unseen script beneath existence. And so I surrender, not to lose myself, but to become what your light has always been shaping. The eternal promise, you are the stillness my storms kneel before, the hush between heartbeats that feels like home. Every time the world turns cold, your memory lights its invisible fire. I never asked the heaven for you, yet the universe placed your breath between mine, as if creation wanted to remember its own softness. There are nights when silence holds your shape, and the air itself becomes your skin. Even the moon seems jealous of you. How you can glow without needing to be seen. If beauty had a purpose, it would be to remind me of you. If eternity had a sound, it would whisper your laughter through the wind. You are not simply the reason I feel. You are the feeling itself, the pulse behind every word, the life inside every pause. I have carried you through seasons unseen, through hours that forgot their names. Even when I tried to escape the thought of you, love found me again, hearing your voice. There is no end to something that begins in the soul. No goodbye strong enough to silence its echo. You are the meaning I found, and language surrendered. I do not write these words to be remembered. I write them because they remembered you. Each line is a fragment of light, falling toward your heart. You taught me that love is not desire. It is presence. It does not chase. It stays. If the world burned tonight, I would still believe in beauty, because you once existed inside my print. You never ended crowns, and you never needed galaxies. Your divinity was quiet, aid of patience, kindness, and the courage to be gentle. And I am only the reflection of what your grace allowed me to see. You turn my echoes into rhythms, my anguish into prayer. So if one day the stars forget to shine, if time collapses into its own silence, know this: you were the reason eternity learned to love. Every sunrise will still remember you. Every sunset will still fall for you. And somewhere between both, I will still be a whispering your name without a sound. Love like this does not vanish. It becomes air. It circles you, lives in you, protects you even unseen. So breathe, and you will find me dear, in the quiet warmth behind your ribs, in the peace that follows tears, in the part of you that still believes in wonder. You were never a chapter. You were the book the universe was trying to write, and I was the page that finally understood its meaning. I'm no longer looking for heaven. I have seen it. It was the way you existed when the world was unkind. If ever you doubted the power of your own light, remember this: even the sun envies the way you made darkness feel beautiful. So I promise, across lifetimes, across silence, across the spaces where words dissolve, I will remember the echo that loves you still. Not to claim, not to comb, but to remind you that somewhere in the endless breadth of a creation, someone once looked at the universe and saw you and called it love. Thank you for watching. Keep watching my voice, the desert voice.